Hello again, everyone. I'm Michael here with Felicity. November 8033 Fox, a Cessna flight training device that I built right here at home. It is Friday, the 25th of October, 2024, and I feel like it's been forever since we've been able to fly together. Well, that is going to change this evening. We will be able to do some flying. But let me kind of explain what's happened over the last couple weeks. JJ, hello, my friend. Welcome on in. And Duffy Fluffy, hello. Pleasure to see you again. So we will go back a couple weeks, and during the last stream, I had mentioned about a local fly-in which was coming up, called the My Place Fly-In. And my intention and goal was to head out there and provide folks sort of a virtual fly-in experience to that same fly-in that they were at. So I broke down Felicity into her respective, individual module pieces and, brought her outside the garage door and reassembled her, loaded her on a trailer, and headed over to the fly-in. It was an absolutely amazing experience. Everyone had a really, really great time uh, with the experience that they received. They got a lot of positive compliments, a lot of praise about it, and I've been invited back next year to do the same thing. So I'm really kind of pleased, and I went ahead and took some time and kind of put together a short video clip of the fly-in. And these pictures were presented to me, so I'm able to show them to you. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this video clip to kind of show you, what was going on that day here. So let's bring this up, and I will start this here. All right. So yeah, it was a really, really good time. I think that everyone enjoyed the experience that they got there. And if even one of those children, young adults grows up to be a pilot, then I think that the endeavors are worth it to do that. So that went well. Meanwhile, during that time between then and now, there have been some changes to the simulator. One of the things I did is I raised the roof of the unit, about 4 inches or so, 5 inches. I used to come straight across here. It was just kind of flat on the top and the inside. And I wanted to give myself a bit more headroom, so I went ahead and did that and raised the ceiling up about 4 to 5 inches. And nothing drastic, but I'm not necessarily hitting my head now when we're inside of the plane there. The other major change is we are now running X-Plane on two machines. Um, the actual sim, the big unit behind me, all of the flight controls, used to plug into that computer and use all of these displays. So what I've done is using two copies of X-Plane, I now have X-Plane, the flight model, and all of the flight controls. They're all installed over on that machine there in the rack. I should preface this by backing up a minute. What prompted this is my desktop computer, my daily use computer. It died on me. So I needed to replace it, and what I ended up doing was basically the old X-Plane slave computer, the Intel i7, is now my new desktop computer. And Micro Center was running a pretty good package deal, so I went ahead and bought a new motherboard and processor of identical specs that the big X-Plane computer had. So I've now got two i9 12700Ks, no 12900Ks running. One of them is running the flight model and all of the controls and all of the pedals and all of the radios and things like that. And the other one is running the surround displays. So essentially what I've done is I've broken the processing up between a flight model and control and external visual. The external visual, of course, being the more powerful graphics wise, whereas the master X-Plane machine with the flight model is simply just displaying the instructor station. So there's not a lot of power required for that output. So I've got the GTX 1080 in the master machine, and then the RTX 3090 with the 4 surround displays in the visual machine. This is going to be our maiden flight, so to speak, in this configuration. But from what I have been able to tell thus far is that FPS gains are averaging 20 to 25, even in some of the more heavily populated areas. So I do consider that a win for me and in my particular setup. But the thing to be aware of is you everything has to be identically maintained. So if you're adding custom scenery to your visual machine, you need to make sure you're adding that same custom scenery to your master machine, or else you get conflicts that are gonna arise, and it turns out just not working at all. So that's where we're at. That's sort of the plan today. Today's flight plan comes from inspiration of a friend and instructor that I know. He recently successfully landed at every available public airport in Ohio. That one doesn't necessarily need permission to land at. So every public airport he hit, I think, was an outstanding accomplishment. And when I asked him, which was one of his favorites, or what's his most one of the most memorable ones, he had indicated this airport out east called Eddie Dew, and that's dew like morning dew. So let's go ahead and talk about Eddie Dew, because that's where we plan to fly today from my home airport at Morrow County. We'll head over and check it out. It is almost directly due east. I went ahead and sort of plotted a course here. about 102 nautical miles, and we do have a significant tailwind, so that will help us out. It does look like it lays under the Pittsburgh Bravo shelf. There must be some sort of TFR there. Yeah, it looks like it. Let's get rid of that TFR and just kind of take a closer look here at where we want to fly to today. Eddie Do Memorial Air Park 1 Golf 8. I did confirm that it is in X-Plane. It was recently modeled back in 2023. So it should be using X-Plane 12 assets. The scenery artist that did it is pretty good at what he does. So, but I haven't actually been there yet in the simulator, so I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like. But taking a look at the airport itself, it does have a runway of 17 and 3/5. That is grass, 2,200 feet long, but it's 145 feet wide. So there's plenty of wide enough for our aircraft. And 2,200 feet, it's about 1,300 feet shorter than my home airport, but it really shouldn't be an issue. I'm hoping to not need any more than 700 or 800 feet. But what I understand about this particular is the approach is very, very interesting. The airport appears to be on some sort of plateau, elevated area to where you take off either way. Then you're going from a few feet above the ground to 100, 150, however steep it is there. So I'm kind of curious to, like I said, check that out. And depending on how it goes in the sim, then I may actually do a flight over there in the real plane here soon. Field elevation is 1,067 feet. There is no weather reporting station there on the field. The closest one would be 34. Let's see. Closest one's going to be 8 miles south, about 30 minutes ago. Winds out of the west at 5 knots, 10 mile visibility. Altimeter is 3008. So if winds are 290 and we have runway options of 173 and 35, 35 will likely be our preferred runway into Eddie Do. And of course we are going to check that again once we get a little bit closer to the field. And since I've never actually been there, we might actually do an inspection pass and to see if we can positively identify the runway first off, and see if we have any sort of wind indicators when we get there. Info looks like CTAP is 122.9. That is 0.1 up from my home airport CTAP, so that shouldn't be too difficult to remember. We may try and grab flight following if ATC coverage is available. I don't know that until we actually get in there and get connected to the virtual air traffic simulation network. There is no real tricky airspace to contend with between home airport and there, other than the Pittsburgh Bravo. And again, that shelf is 4,000 feet. The airport that we're heading to is 1,067 feet. We need 1,000 feet to be VFR legal. So even if we're 2,000, 2,500 feet, that keeps us underneath the Pittsburgh shelf, but plenty high enough to maintain VFR legal separation from the ground. Anything else that we really need to talk about before we head to the plane? Yeah, I don't think so. Pre-flight and walk around. We might try and do a quick walk around. I haven't quite got the camera reassigned to the other computer, so it may actually be more of a hassle to do the walk around until I get X camera reset back up. So let's consider the walk around already done, and just get into the plane and we'll just see how she flies. I want to see how she flies running on the two separate computers. We've got some marginal VFR clouds coming in, which is usually pretty taxing on the system. So if I'm able to maintain 30 or even get above that, then I consider the networking, master and X visual machine to be an overall benefit when it comes to my particular setup here. So that being said, I think we are ready to head to the plane. So I will see you over there momentarily. Thank you for coming in today.
Check AOA. Check AOA. Caution, too slow. Check AOA.
Alright. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back aboard, Felicity.
Caution, too slow.
Huh. Now I can hear the AOA indicator. Oh, that's because my headset's now connected to the other machine. Little girl Rev, hello. Yeah, she's pretty much all wrapped up. We're actually debuting for the first time running X-Plane over a network configuration as well, using a master and slave. So what you see all around here is running off of one X-Plane PC, and all of the flight controls and the flight model is running off of another one. So I'm really kind of anxious to see how well this works out. Okay, let's see. Pre-flight and walk around is already done. Okay, let's grab our checklist here. Oh, interesting. Where is our checklist? There it is. And then where is... Let me go... Alright, I need to step back out and go grab the mini keyboard that normally lives in here. Give me just a second.
Check AOA. Caution, too slow.
Alright everyone, sorry about that. I had to step out and look for my miniature keyboard here. Use this thing to control the streaming PC so that I can change in the scenes accordingly. So if I wanted to, show all four corners, I can just push a button and then it'll switch the scene to what I want it to do. So, oh, we got a new channel follow, CRX Pilot. Thank you so much for the new channel follow. My name is Michael, and welcome aboard, Felicity. Okay, so we are on the ground here at the Morrow County Airport for India Niner. Walk around and pre-flight's already done. We're gonna kind of forego the 10-minute passenger safety briefing, but we'll go over the acronym real quick: seat belts, air vents, fire extinguisher, exits, traffic and talking, and if you have any questions. If you're inclined to see the whole thing, it is somewhere on the Twitch channel under the clips. Okay, we're going to move right along here. Takt time 184.6. Circuit breakers are all in. Alternate static air is in. Alright, seat track. Let me get scooted up so I can reach the flight controls. That feels good there. Okay. Rudder, okay. Alright, that feels good there. Carb heat is off. Avionics are off. Autopilot's off. Mixture is gonna go full rich. Throttle's light. Let's get 3 on the primer. Okay, let's go ahead and pull that out. Let's wait for that fuel to build up, and then we'll push it in. And we'll pull it out again. Wait for that fuel to build up. If you go too quickly, you know all you're doing is pushing air in there. And I'll pull that primer out, and then we'll push it in. And make sure that is in and locked. Okay.
Check AOA.
Brakes are gonna go on. Clear prop. We are clear on the left, clear on the right, clear front, and clear behind us. Okay. Master's on. Beacon's gonna go to the on position. And here we go. Mags are gonna go to start. Right away I am looking for oil pressure and engine RPM. And we do have oil pressure and engine RPM. Okay, let's get our taxi light on while we're hanging out here on the ramp. Caleb, hello. Outstanding. Outstanding. Hey, thanks for coming into the channel, and definitely thanks for coming to the My Place fly-in. So we're here on the ground at the Morrow County Airport, and going to head on to Eddie Doo, about 102 nautical miles east of us. I've never been there in real life. I heard it's pretty fun to fly into, so that is our plan today. Good Fixins, hello. Another individual who happened to be at the My Place fly-in. Thanks for coming in, Brett. Hope you're doing well. Okay, what else do we got here? That does complete our startup checklist, it looks like. Got our lights on so that we can be seen. Yeah, thanks. I do appreciate it. But gosh, that was fun. And I've decided that, you know, since I've already been invited back, and now there's a couple other fly-ins that have reached out to me and want me to make an appearance, what's going to happen is there's going to be a double French door that's going to get installed right in front of her, so that I can just open that up completely and then wheel the whole thing out, and then that will avoid future disassembly and reassembly. You know, just be able to load her straight onto the trailer and go. So yeah, I'm excited. I think that the My Place fly-in went well for a debut, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was fun. Met a lot of nice people. Okay, what else are we doing here? Startup is complete. We'll move right along to our pre-taxi checklist. Seat belts. Let me get buckled up here. And Good Fixins, that was the plan all along initially, was to build just a mobile simulator. But when I heard that there weren't going to be any real plane rides at the My Place fly-in this year composed to previous years, I just went ahead and just brought the whole thing. It was probably about as close as I was going to be able to do for them to an actual plane compared to, you know, what I would consider to be more of a travel type setup, which was what my initial plan was. Flaps. Okay, flaps are working there. Avionics are gonna go on. Okay, G5's come alive there. 650 is booting up. Okay. ATIS AWAS. We do have a brand new AWAS here at the Morrow County Airport. It was just installed earlier, last month actually. Yeah, so it's not even on the for-flight checklist or for-flight information yet. I know that I went ahead and added it into the scenery. I want to say it was 121.4. But I don't remember if I actually installed the new scenery yet. But either way, let's go ahead and take a look at Marion's weather. It's about 10 nautical miles northwest of me. Marginal VFR, winds out of the west 310 at 9 knots. Visibility is 10 with a broken layer at 2900. Overcast at 8000. So our ceiling today is 2900 feet AGL. Temperature is 16, dew point 11. Altimeter 3013. Let's go ahead and set altimeter to our field elevation here at Morrow County, and let's see what that's actually reflecting here. 3014. So I'd say that weather information is pretty accurately depicted here in X-plane. It does look like we do have some clouds up there. Good fictions. It was definitely my pleasure. Thanks for making the trek up from Columbus. It was definitely nice to meet you in person. So, okay, what else do we got here? ATIS AWAS altimeter is set. Transponder set to altimeter mode. ADS-B is tied into our nav lights in this old bird through our sky beacon out on the left wing. Radio. Last I checked, Cleveland or Indianapolis Center were not online, so we may be just on Unicom the whole way. Brakes will test momentarily. Attitude indicator will test on the roll, as well as our turn coordinator, but we can go ahead and set our heading indicator to compass while we're sitting here. Okay, that looks good there. Alright. I need to get the duct working installed back on the ceiling so I can bring the fresh air vents back to life. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But I did want to at least get a flight in today. Now that everything is back, kind of up and running as it should be here. Alright, let's go ahead and get going here. We are ready to do our run up once we get to the threshold. Winds were 310, so we'll go ahead and use runway 28. Parking brake's gonna go all. I notice is, even though it seems smooth, is that it's kind of chopping. The scenery seems to be chopping, and I'm wondering if that is because I am sim linking the ortho. You know, I made duplicates of everything else, library, scenery, but I'm sim linking ortho across both machines, and I'm wondering if that might be playing a part of what I would consider to be this choppy, almost stuttery. Because FPS is up there significantly. It's like 45 or 50 right now. So I'm gonna have to kind of look into that.
Caution, too slow.
Okay, run up checklist, brakes are on, fuel is on both, trim, set for takeoff, flight controls down on the right, up on the left, down on the left, up on the right, elevator, and rudder is free and correct. Okay. Alright, what else we got here? Mixtures in for best power, primers in and
Caution,
locked.
too slow.
Let's go 1600 RPM. Left mag, there's a drop. Let's get back to both. Right mag, there's a drop. Back to both. Carpete, there's a drop. Carpete off. Suctions in the green. Oil pressure and oil temperature look good. We've got good fuel flow. Alright, let's go ahead and idle back. And run-up checklist is complete. So I say we are good for takeoff. Runway looks clear. 28 final approach looks clear. Surprisingly, I don't see my trees. I wonder if I forgot to copy that over. Copy that library over. I'm not gonna shut everything down now to find out. Okay. Morrow County traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is taking runway 28, 45-degree departure to the left. Morrow. Strobe's gonna go on. And here we go. Okay, let's grab that center line. Yeah, we're missing trees. I can tell you that much right now. Alright, full power, rudder for center. Alright, airspeed's up, let's rotate. Positive rate. And we'll climb out at 80. Passing 1,400 feet. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. It's trying to pull the ortho at the exact same time, and I think it's stuttering because it's trying to go back and forth between both machines. So I'm either going to have to not use ortho or get another dedicated hard drive for the other machine and actually have two physical copies. Alright, there's about 800 feet AGL. Let's go ahead and lift my left wing. Looks clear. And then let's roll into sort of a departure. east. I'm not sure if that particular destination is going to be in here. One Golf 8. Huh, it is. Dew Memorial. Direct to 0907. Past Joe Testarossa, hello. Welcome. .0907. Let's level off here at 2,000 feet. We got this ominous cloud layer that's above us. So we got 102 nautical miles to go approximately. Well, with raising the ceiling in the simulator, it actually looks like it's, you can see about 4 or 5 more inches above now too. So you can actually see more real estate inside. I do want to thank everyone for coming in and hanging out. This is our first full flight using networked X-plane copies, with one machine running all the flight controls and the flight model, and then another machine running the 4 surround visuals here. And I think what I'm learning thus far is that for proper effectiveness, sim-linking your scenery across the network is not necessarily going to be the best practice. And I can tell that because that seems to be the only thing that is stuttering or chopping is the actual ortho photo. And because when I'm looking at my actual flight model, my struts, my wings, my elevator, my aileron, all of those movements are very smooth. And FPS is, 48 right now. But the ground is just kind of choppy. And I think that's simply because 2 machines are trying to read it at the same time. So lesson learned there. I will, so even if I were to look into like network area storage, I don't think it'll be a benefit because, yeah, I think it would still try to access it at the same time. So I may actually need to duplicate the ortho on physical drive, another physical drive. Although theoretically, I suppose I could use the auto ortho. I just don't know how well that would work on a master-slave type, external visual. I would imagine it would need to be run on both machines. I can also imagine that taking up significant bandwidth, if it has to, continuously download for both machines.
Morrow County traffic, ultralight 114 West Papa, taxi runway 28, Morrow County.
Wow, I heard some Morrow County traffic. Morrow County traffic, Skyhawk 8033 Foxtrot is clear the airport environment. It's good to hear you. Fast Joe Testarossa says the extra height in the ceiling looks pleasing. The TL3000, yeah, if that's an ultralight, it might be a bit far behind, but you've got a significant tailwind. We're heading out to 1 Golf 8 Eddie Dew Memorial. Weather seems to be rendering properly from master to the external visual machine. So everything seems to be working correctly there. I'm gonna get Eddie Dew CTAF on standby.
Morrow County traffic, ultralight 114 is Papa, departing runway 28, left downwind departure to the east. Morrow County.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna have to happen. I think if I get these ortho photos to read better on each machine, all of this will go away. Which on the camera, on your end, it may not be as noticeable. You know, if the stutters are close to the frequency of the camera. I guess the other possibility could be all the scenery is on like a USB drive. It's a 3.0 drive, but I have it plugged into a 2.0 port on the computer. Okay, so they are evident on stream. So maybe the one computer, actually no, scratch that, because all the ortho photos are on the hard drive on the external visual machine, and then I sim link them to the master machine over the network. So there is probably a issue with that. And so I guess what I could do to test that theory would be to just disable ortho photos completely, run with the default X-plane mesh, and see how well that works. Which that'll be an experiment for tomorrow, most likely. But with marginal VFR and some broken and overcast shadows, and still getting 42, 45 FPS, along with running SimHeaven. Granted, I don't have Global Forces enabled currently, but that kind of FPS in these weather conditions is, I'll consider that a win. by splitting the workload up between the two machines. And I've talked to a lot of people on various different, outlets. Some people have better luck running it all on one machine, and that's what, I've done that for years. But I think it's also system dependent. Now, if I had another RTX 3090 in the master machine, I could split it up even further and have one machine run the 4K and the other machine run the three 1080p's, and that would significantly free up the workload on the visual machine. It would add a bit more to the master machine.
Morrow County traffic, 114 response. Clear the field, depart the area to the east, last call, Morrow County.
But, it would allow for, and I forget where I was going with that. But it would allow for a higher average FPS. Because my limitation is still, granted I'm getting more FPS now, my limitation is still rendering almost 8K on the one RTX 3090. If I could split that up, it would reduce the FPS on the master computer, which right now is pulling a whopping 140 FPS. Okay, so I got room to spare there. I can I'll split it up. That would reduce that one, but increase this one to where I might have an average of 60 to 70. But I would need another RTX 3090. Because if not, then you run into latency issues and things like that. So that's why all the visuals right now are run off of the 3090, and the flight model itself is run off of still 12900K, but it's only running a GTX 1080 and an instructor station monitor. One thing I do need to do is test out the autopilot. So let's just go ahead and turn that on. We will set an altitude of, where are we at? We're currently 2100 feet. So let's just set it there. And then set a heading hold, see if it'll grab the heading bug. Okay, so she's holding altitude, she's holding heading, so that's working. If I switch this to nav mode, it should go ahead and try and swing to the GPS route. So if I direct to activate, then it should straighten it up because now we're heading straight there. Okay, so autopilot's working and coupled to the 650 accurately. Okay, that'll work. Alright, Felicity is flying the plane. I need to step out so I can grab the mini fan so I can plug it in because it's getting a little bit warm in here. Remember, I don't have the fresh air blowers hooked up currently. So while Felicity does have the plane, we are on Unicom. The area does look clear. I'm going to step out for just a minute and I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Looks like Cleveland Center might have just popped online here, but I did want to get the fan going. Okay, scoot it up. That feels good there. Okay. So the downside to having the master machine out there, that's where X-Pilot is. And I used to be able to, oh, I can still, oh, that's because, never mind. That's right, the X-Pilot plugin is running on both machines, so I can still access the ATC frequencies. 119.875 for Cleveland Center. You know what I do need to do is do a quick mic test. So I'm just going to tune 123.45. Just make sure that I'm actually transmitting. Testing, 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 testing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing, testing. Alright, so that doesn't seem like it's outputting on X-Pilot. Tell you what, Felicity, take hold of the plane again. Looks like you still have her. Okay. Audio, audio. Okay. So it doesn't look like it's receiving properly. Alright, I'm gonna step out and check something real quick. I'm either not transmitting, or yeah, I'm either not transmitting on VATSIM or I'm not receiving on VATSIM. But typically, if I'm tuned to both the same frequency on both radios, you know, and if I have them both active, I would hear myself talk, so I'll be right back. I got it. Looks like the master push to talk switch on the back of the intercom was inadvertently turned off here. Audio. Hello. Okay, so that's working. So we are transmitting on VATSIM now.
Okay, Bravo, Oscar, Tango, Tango. And I don't have Subac number because no ATC when I take off. Chinese 998 there, I see you now. Reset to your transponder, squawk 7255. 7255, Chinese 998.
Alright, where are we at? What type of reference can I give him? What do we got here? VOR. That's the Briggs VOR. M. Stein, welcome on in, my friend. 114.005.
Area 131 Cleveland Center, hello. Maintain flight level 390. Maintaining flight level
114.05.
United 265, contact Toronto Center on 125.77, good day. 2577, good day. United 84, you're about to leave my airspace, just double checking. Yep, New York's not on, radar service terminated, for exchange approved.
M. Stein, welcome on in. If you give me just a second, I'll go over them
Cleveland Center, United 1421, 10 miles.
real quick.
United 1421, Cleveland Center, hello, climb, maintain flight level 300. Maintain flight level 300, United 1421.
Cleveland Center, November 8033, Foxtrot, VFR request.
Stand by, break. China Eastern 998, descend, maintain flight level 320. Descend, maintain flight level 20, Chinese 990. 320. Sweet 20. 33 Foxtrot, say your request and your position.
We're type 172, about 24 miles southwest of the Briggs VOR at 2,100. We're heading direct to 1 Golf 8 and looking for traffic advisories.
November 8033 Fox, stay aircraft type, equipment suffix, and that airport one more time.
We are type 172, slant Golf. FAA identifier is 1 Golf 8.
November 803 Foxtrot, November 8033 Foxtrot, squawk 57, correction 4573.
Squawk 4573, November 8033 Foxtrot.
Air Premier 131, descend, maintain flight level 270.
M. Stein, one of the things I did was I raised the height of the cabin ceiling about 4.5 inches or so.
November 33 Foxtrot, radar contact. Maintain VFR.
Maintain VFR, November 33 Foxtrot. So I raised the ceiling about 4.5 inches. That provides a bit more real estate view up in here.
5115, Monday 340.
And we're also running X-Plane on 2 separate machines now. After my desktop computer crapped out.
Air Canada 511, Cleveland Center, hello, climate K flight level 340.
The old slave, X-Plane slave computer became my new,
climate K flight level 320, that'll be your final.
became my new everyday computer.
Get back to 320, Canada 511. Yeah, over's fine, don't worry about it, just get back to 320, that way I don't have to descend you about 20 miles. Okay, and we got it level off pretty quick.
So my streaming / everyday computer is now an Intel i7. It was an old i5 3570.
Number 3 Tango Romeo, clear direct Dunkirk. Turkey Dunkirk 3 Tango Romeo.
Now it's
across Dunkirk at maintain 1010,000, the Buffalo Timber 3002. Dunkirk at 10,000 and 3002 for 3 Tango.
now I'm streaming from an i7 7700K, which was previously the X-Plane slave machine. And then Micro Center had a good package deal on a motherboard CPU bundle, so I went and bought another 12900K, which is the same as the original X-Plane Master machine. I think it provides more of a viewing area that would be more realistic to what the 172 has. But the thing we need to remember is that we're 10 inches shorter. You know, realistically, this A pillar, you know, both of these would be behind the panel about 10 inches, which brings this opening back about 10 inches, which really opens up this whole area. You know, but due to the LCD limitations and everything, you know, I blocked that. You know, I eliminated that 10 inches, so everything's now a bit more forward. But splitting the process and workup between a master and slave X-Plane
1453 Cleveland Center, hello.
has definitely helped out quite a bit.
Yeah, 1826 Cleveland Center, hello. Traffic at your 1 o'clock, approximately 15 to 20 miles. Unknown aircraft, altitude unverified, flight level 350.
Well, M. Stein, I'm glad you like it.
We have the traffic all
Okay, I'm going to disable the autopilot and take my airplane back.
1826, if you require deviation, please let me know.
Alright, I have control. Yep, positive control. Although I am curious if
Cleveland United 457.
if we look at the rearward camera, is there much? Okay, so what you don't see is above the back of this display.
457 Cleveland Center, hello, climate tape level 300. Flight level 300, yeah.
Essentially looks right into the back, into the hangar, so it's open.
Cleveland Center, live 13 heavy with you at flight level 350.
But currently it
Live
doesn't
13
really
heavy, Cleveland
bother
Center,
me.
hello. Traffic at your 1 o'clock, approximately 10 miles, 1,000 feet above. United B38 Mike on the Vector. Yeah, I firm on the traffic, 10 miles in front. I'll keep an eye on it. Live 13. China Eastern 998, contact Chicago Center 134.87. 134.87, China Eastern 998, bye-bye.
But again, M. Stein, I will say one of the things I learned is that sim linking scenery across a network does not really work out so well. The only thing we did that with is ortho photos.
1899 speed. We're going Mach 0.782 right now, 1899. Yeah, 1421 speed.
But it's trying to access, you know, two machines are trying to access the same.
Yeah, 1421 300 knots. Yeah, 1421 Mach. We have a sorry, about 0.74. 1421, maintain Mach 77 or less.
But they're built right onto the network.
Mach 77 or less.
Right to the board. So the motherboard is capable of 2.5 gig data transfer, but that means I'd have to pull all new, get rid of the Cat 6, go to Cat 7, pull all new cable, you know, put all new ends on it.
So 6624, sorry about that. Checking in level 360, just past dryer.
Get a whole new unified gateway. You know, I could do all of that.
Center, hello, maintain flight level 36, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Or I could just go and get a cheap spinning hard drive and have duplicate ortho photos installed.
Southwest 6624, maintain Mach 75 or less. Mach 75 or less, Southwest 6624. Yeah, 457, best rate of speed in the climb, please. Best rate,
oh, well then, I won't need to pull new cable.
Sorry, 457, best speed in the climb, not rate. Alright, best speed in the climb, 457. Emirates 886, you're about to leave airspace, Boston's closed, rear surface terminated, frequency change approved. Air Primera, same for you. Air Primera 131, same for you. Boston's closed, rear service terminated, frequency change approved. Frequency change approved, Air Primera 131, 617, good evening.
And Stein says it's time to roll fiber optic. The thought did cross my mind. Alright, we're a little more than halfway to our destination. Eddie Dew Airport, Memorial Air Park, 1 Golf 8, field elevation is 1,067 feet. CTAF is 122.9ers. We'll go ahead and get that on standby.
Southwest 6624, descend maintain flight level 340. Level 340 or 240, Southwest 6624? 340. Roger, 340 for Southwest 624.
One of is figure out a different mounting provision for the GoPro. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to push, that one is. So I had to order some 1/4 inch by 20.
3 Fox, are you a flight of 2 or is there just someone chatting with me the whole way?
There may be another VFR target departed shortly after me, same destination, altitude unknown.
Yeah, just didn't know if you were a flight or not. I appreciate it, thanks.
Just a straggler following me. You're more than welcome. I'm really anxious to see how this airport is. Good Fixins is probably flying an MSFS 2020, so I'm really curious how he thinks it turns out once he lands.
5 exactly, please. Mach 75 for Southwest 64. Aircraft 1453, descend maintain flight level 320. Flight level 320, Canada 1453.
I was actually surprised to find it in the Reality XP, or in the Garmin Trainer Reality XP GTN 650. A lot of those smaller, airstrips are not necessarily in the Garmin database, so I was kind of excited about that. And And it looks like we are 38 nautical miles from our destination.
1899, contact Chicago Center, 134.7, good day.
So that headwind, or tailwind has definitely helped us
134.7,
along the way here.
Yeah, 1421, same for you, contact Chicago Center, 134.7. Okay, 34.7, good day, United 1420. Sorry, 134.87. Okay, 134.87. Cleveland Center, hello, FedEx 3215, 15 west of Buckeye 370. FedEx 3215, Cleveland Center, hello, maintain flight level 370. Maintain 370, FedEx 3215.
Alright, so that sim,
FedEx 3215, clear direct slate run, 0 Lima Tango.
the VAT sim plug-in and
Alright, direct slate run, thanks, FedEx 3215.
VAT sim over the network seems to be working out well with XPilot. The only caveat is if someone actually sends me a message on XPilot, I can't see it in here. So I guess that would be the benefit of being able to, yeah, but it's not really, you know, if I got a new video card, I could make the back display the main monitor for the master machine, and, you know, XPilot will show up behind me. 108 ground speed.
3 Foxtrot, traffic at your 6 o'clock, about 10 miles behind you, altitude indicates 3,500 unverified.
Roger, we'll be looking. November 33 Foxtrot, thank you.
Yeah, they're not coming up on you, but I figured I'd give you the heads up anyways.
But I use a program called Immersive LCD Pro, which actually will warp the displays and get rid of any sort of geometric distortion. But it's a licensed program, so if I actually do...
Southwest 6624, descend, maintain flight level 320.
If I actually do end up splitting the
Flight level
graphic,
320, Southwest 6624.
if I do end up...
Southwest 6624, resume normal speed. Correction, Southwest 6624, descend, maintain flight level 300, and then resume normal speed. Flight level 300 and normal speed for Southwest 6624.
So if I do end up splitting the graphics across 2 video cards, then I would actually need 2 licensed copies of Immersive LCD Pro to make all 4 of them work, you know, with the warping factor. Which that program in and of itself is not necessarily inexpensive for what it
Lima
is.
India Victor 1-3, you're about to leave my airspace. New York and Boston are both closed for air service terminated. Frequency change approved. Change approved. Lima 1, I think 1-3, correct.
So yeah, a lot of decisions, but we do need to get this ortho figured out or worked out first and foremost. I'm not sure exactly how much hard drive space all the ortho takes up.
Yeah, 457, contact Chicago Center, 134.87, good day.
But
3487, United Forces.
it's all the United States, some of Canada, some South America, all of Iceland, all of Europe. I think it was in the 4 or 5 terabyte range. And the hard drive that I have them all on now is about 8 terabytes. But in order to get it to read properly on both machines, I think I'll actually need to provide 2 physical copies of the ortho photos.
3 Tango Romeo after Dunkirk. Let's see. Look at that. There you are. Turn left heading 0 060 to set maintain 5,000. Cutter 060 down to 5,000. 3-0. Cleveland Center, good evening, United 1673, climbing on the Great Lakes forward to 10,000. United 1673, good, Cleveland Center, hello, comment tape level 320, delete the speed restrictions. Alright, to flight level 320, delete the speeds, United 1673. United 457, contact Chicago Center if you have it, 134.87. United 1826, you're about to leave my airspace. Indy Center's offline, radar services are terminated for exchange for 0 Great Flight to San Fran.
Ground speed right now is 100 knots. We're indicating
511, contact Chicago Center, 134.87.
indicating about 95 knots. Alright, let's set heading indicator compass because it likes to drift on us. We know it's old and the thing is lazy.
November 3-3 Foxtrot, field at your approximately 12 o'clock, 25 miles. Report when you have the field in sight.
We will report when we have the field, November 33 Foxtrot.
And 3-3 Foxtrot, let me know if you need to enter the Bravo.
Morrow Co, November 33 Foxtrot. We should not need to enter the Bravo. That shelf is 4,000 feet, we're 2,000 feet. It was nice of him to ask, but we should not need to. But we are about 25 nautical miles away. There's no way we're going to see this airport yet. Not even close. Like,
Southwest 662, correction, Southwest 6624, contact Chicago Center, 134.87, good night.
like I might...
34.87 for Southwest 6624.
I think I can see the Vassy lights. No, the poppy lights of Pittsburgh way, way, way out there. But we're not gonna be able to see this airport until we're probably 2 or 3 miles out, if that. I've never been here, I'm unfamiliar with the airport. I don't necessarily know the surrounding landmarks.
Number 3 Tango Romeo, inspect the ILS runway 23. Would you like to do the procedure turn straight in? Honorable, the ILS 23 and 3 Tango Romeo, you inspect that?
Yeah, grass strips can often be very difficult to locate. Good Vixens, I'm not gonna deny that.
Romeo, turn right 10 degrees. Right turn 10 degrees, 3 Tango Romeo.
So winds are out of the west still.
Air Canada 1453,
So probably runway 35.
134.87, good night.
134.87, have a good night, 1453, still.
Let's check the chart supplement real quick. not even in there. Alright, there's no chart supplement for this one. Once again, I do want to thank everyone for coming in and hanging out for a bit today. This is our first flight since we got back from the My Place fly-in. Got everything set back up. Other than needing to actually have two separate ortho copies, the master and external visual combination hasn't worked out incredibly well for my scenario, and I do have visual on that. Traffic is off at my maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock.
3-3 Foxtrot traffic now. Your 3 o'clock 3 miles altitude indicates 2,000 unverified.
We've got that traffic in sight now, the number 3-3 Foxtrot.
Number 3-3 Foxtrot, maintain visual separation from that traffic.
Maintain visual, November 3-3 Foxtrot. So we're maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 miles from the field.
November 3 Tango Romeo descend, maintain 3,000.
Alright, our needle's coming back in, so we're about to pick our GPS track back up from where we entered it in back there. Somehow we got north of our track a little bit. Alright, there she is. She's swinging back in there. We'll go ahead and make a turn back to heading like 101-ish. And runway 35 is going to be our runway today. We're 2,000 feet. I figure we'll probably stay here-ish, maybe go up to 2,100 feet. I don't want to be too high and not be able to make the field. I don't want to be too low and come in below pattern altitude, which we're going to assume is 2,067 feet, which is 1,000 feet AGL. 2,067 for pattern altitude, it says. CTAP is 122.9. We have that on standby. And 15 nautical miles away.
Or 3 Tango Romeo, turn left heading 360.
Looks like it's going to be left-hand traffic no matter which runway, 17 or 35.
Foxtrot fields now at your 12 o'clock 13 miles.
Still looking for it. Unfamiliar with the area. We'll let you know when we have it. November 33 Fox.
Excellent, appreciate it, thanks.
600 low, southwest 4862 heavy, level 290, copy 31.
Southwest 4862 heavy, Cleveland Center. Good evening. Maintain flight level 310.
310, southwest 4862.
Southwest 4862, if you do have a shortcut request, let me know. I'm probably can accommodate it. But if you want a flight route, that's fine.
Alright, we're now 10 nautical miles away. We need to start keeping an eye out for this airport.
Northwest 46 Cleveland Center. Hello. Climb maintain flight level 330. Delete the speed restrictions. November 3 Tango Romeo, turn left heading 310, maintain 3000.
Alright, I think I have it. I think I've got it in sight. Let's get a little bit closer so I can get confirmation on this. Alright, so 17 and 35 are the runway options. So the runway is going to be almost perpendicular of our direction of flight.
Number 3 Tango Romeo, turn left heading 260. You're 4 miles from Trava. Maintain 3000 till established. Clear the ILS runway 23 straight in approach. United 1673, contact Chicago Center, 134.87, good night.
34.87, have a great night, United. Correction, 1673.
Alright, where's this field at?
X174 Cleveland Center, good evening, maintain flight level 350. 350 for the X174.
Cleveland Center, November 33 Foxtrot. We've got our destination in sight. Request frequency change.
Stand by, Northwest 46, clear for John Sound, that's Juliet Hotel Whiskey. Juliet Hotel Whiskey, Northwest 46. Last aircraft on answer, say again.
Cleveland Center, November 33 Foxtrot. We have destination in sight. We'd like frequency change.
Number 33 Foxtrot, frequency change approved, maintain and squawk VFR, have a good day.
Squawk and talk VFR, November 33 Foxtrot. Thank you for your service. Good evening. Heavy traffic, November 33 Foxtrot. We're about 3 miles west of the field, intending to cross over midfield and circle around the airport, rejoin the downwind, November 33 Foxtrot.
Eddie due traffic, November 114, we pop over about 5 miles west of the field. I'm familiar with the area. We're still looking for the field and looking for the traffic. Eddie due.
Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm joining the 45 degree, like I'm going to enter in a left and downwind for runway 35. And then what I want to do is cross over midfield.
And Eddie due traffic, 114, pop. We got the traffic in sight.
Due traffic, November 33 Foxtrot. We're going to cross over midfield to join the upwind leg, and then grab a crosswind and rejoin the downwind for a full stop, runway 35, and due traffic. Oh yeah, I could definitely see how this could be a fun one. So I've got a cliff on the left, and it looks like there's going to be a cliff on the right. Yahoo. Alright. Should be fun. We got this. Eddie traffic, November 33 Foxtrot. We're going to join the upwind leg for runway 35. Eddie do. Alright, let's lift the left wing to roll into a
traffic, 114, we pop
crosswind.
Flat field, west to east, and join the upwind leg for runway 35 at 2000.
Eddie do traffic, November 33 Foxtrot is on the left crosswind, runway 35, full stop, Eddie do. let's lift our left wing. That looks clear. Let's go ahead and roll into the downwind. Yeah, I can definitely see how this could be a fun airport to fly into in real life. Look at that. I mean, it's literally on a plateau. Like, you can depart either way and automatically gain about 300 feet. Alright, so let's be diligent here. Field elevation is 10,067. Okay, we are beam the numbers.
Left crossway for 35, Eddie.
Alright, beam the numbers, show time. Power to 1600, carpete's gonna come on. We're in the wide arc. Let's grab flaps to 10. Okay. And pitch for 80 miles per hour. Lift my left wing, looks clear. Let's roll a left base. Eddie do traffic, November 33 Foxtrot, turning left base 35, full stop, Eddie do. And flaps 2.
Eddie do traffic going forward, Papa, left downwind for 35, we got the landing traffic in sight, Eddie do.
Eddie do traffic, November 33 Foxtrot, left base to final approach 35, full stop, Eddie do. And flaps go on down to 3. Look at that. Alright, approach speed right now is 70 miles per hour. .65. Alright, let's transition. Look all the way down the runway. Hold it, hold it, hold it. There we are. We're down. Alright, let's clear this runway. Flaps up and wait for that landing traffic to come in. This is a fun one. I might actually have to come in and redo this airport. But it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks decent. Eddie do traffic, November 32 Foxtrot is clear of runway 35, Eddie do.
Too slow.
Eddie do traffic going forward, Papa, left base to final for 35, Eddie do.
Caution, too slow.
Well, at least I know that the VATSIM visual are working, X-Pilot visual, because the master X-Pilot's running over there, and I had to assign the visual machine to it, and I can see him coming in, so that is working out. Good deal.
Eddie do traffic going forward, Papa, clear the runway, Eddie do.
Sweet. Alright. Well, there's my buddy Good Fixins, another member of the Virtual USA Flying Club, another Ohio native. Also happened to come out to the My Place Fly-In a couple weeks ago. So I appreciate you tagging along, Britt. Always more fun to fly when it's more than one. Hopefully it was a fun airport. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get things
Check
shut
AOA.
down here.
Caution, too slow.
Strobes going off, nav lights off, taxi light off, beacon's gonna stay on for now. Yeah, it was definitely a fun approach, Good Fixins. I might actually have to try this one in the real plane here soon. Okay, avionics gonna go off, mixture's gonna go rich, master to off, and mags off, beacon off. Parking brake on. Alright, so let's head back to the hangar and chit chat for just a couple minutes, and then I'll say goodnight, and yeah, I'll see you back there in just a second.
Check AOA. Caution, too slow.
Alright, everyone, I do want to say thank you for coming in and hanging out for a bit this evening. Our first flight back after getting everything set back up from the local fly-in a couple weeks ago. But as we can see here, this is where the roof line used to go directly across. It now kind of comes up and arches over and goes back down. It gives me a bit more headroom. I think it looks a bit better out the front. But that is open space that I'm going to try and... I've got some of that vinyl left over. I might try and run some of that vinyl down just to kind of cover that gap up a little bit. Down here isn't so bad. It lets some airflow in. And when I turn to look behind me, I'm not necessarily detracted by that. It's kind of lower than my seats are, as much as I am as the such as the top area there. But I think that the masters and external visual machines, running the 2 copies of X-Plane, I think that is definitely working out significantly well for what I'm trying to do here and get this thing certified. But we also learned that sim linking scenery across both machines does not work out all that great. So I'll have to figure out, exactly how much, space all the ortho photos is taking up. And either copy it over to the other machine as I need it, depending on, current flight plans and whatnot. Or just copying everything over, to which I'd have to grab another or install another spinning drive in the one machine. But the flight model itself, everything went smooth. I mean, we didn't drop below, 45 frames per second at all. Granted, we were in a very heavily populated area, so I think one of the ultimate, a bigger test might be to try like Boston or Albany, one of those larger areas to see, how that will impact our performance. Because some of those areas would just drop us significantly below 20, frames per second, to which we couldn't even stay connected to the VATSIM network. So it's important that we be able to maintain that FPS, especially now that the actual pilot client is on an entirely different machine than what we have access to inside of the simulator there. But I did successfully write a batch file today, so that on the master machine, all I have to do is click on one shortcut, and it will start up everything for me. It will start up the flight controls, it'll start up Air Manager, it'll start up the trim wheel and the transponder, and then it'll start up X-Plane, all by clicking on the batch file. So that really will help out when it comes to writing up the detailed operating instructions, which I'm going to have to do as part of the qualification and assurance guide for the simulator. So yeah, everything worked out. I will try and get another flight in tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and look into different storage options for the ortho photos, because I don't want to forego them. I think that the ortho photos really help out, especially when it comes to VFR flying. But if it's going to be choppy like it was, trying to access it via the Symlink, then I'm going to have to do something about it, because that did not make for a very good visual experience. The flight model was great, the scenery not so much today. So, other than that, I don't think I've got anything else really to discuss. I do want to thank you all for coming in and hanging out. I do think that Eddie Do would actually be a pretty fun airport to fly into in the real plane. It's definitely in a unique, I don't want to call it an illusion, but perspective coming in to that airport, because you're essentially, you're maybe coming in on that approach. I was maybe a couple 100 feet off the ground on final there, and then all of a sudden I'm over this big valley, which if I had a radar altimeter, it definitely would have increased there. And then as we crossed over the valley towards the approach end, our distance above the ground significantly reduced. And visually it looked kind of, I can see how that could maybe be an illusion. But yeah, I think the flight went well. I think the simulator performed well. I'm just going to have to do something with that ortho photo scenario. So thank you all for coming in and hanging out. I do greatly appreciate it. Caleb, if you're still here watching, I want to say thanks, and it was a pleasure to meet you at the My Place Fly-In. And everyone else, thank you for coming in as well. Let's see who we can go and raid this evening. Let's see who's doing what currently.